spiritually than the reptiles, but they suppress humans with their technology. Their God is their technology. Whoa, is that going to be relevant? And we come to transhumanism, the fusion of humanity with technology. It's supposed to turn us into superhumans. It's designed to turn us into subhumans and non-humans. I've got a chapter in my book, Phantom Self, called Transhumanism. Oh, God, that's a weak bottle, isn't it? Look at me. Need that. Oh, it's cooled me down though. What a weak bottle that was. Transphantomism. And I call it transphantomism because this transhuman agenda of technology is designed to take us beyond the phantom self, which has been the control system to this point, and complete the job of entrapping human awareness by connecting the human mind to technology, which would be controlled by AI. Some people call it artificial intelligence. I call it archontic intelligence for reasons I'll come to. We have to be disconnected from this, otherwise the game's up. And this is what transhumanism is all about. This is the spokesman for Frankenstein, called Ray Kurzweil, one of these complete mad people operating out of Silicon Valley, which I call the devil's playground. He's an executive with Google. Google is a monster. It's not just involved in controlling the flow of information through its search engine, it's also fundamentally connected to transhumanism. And this is the driving force of transhumanism, which works very closely with DARPA, with Facebook, and all these other Silicon Valley expressions of evil. DARPA is the technological development arm of the Pentagon. It gives us things like death rays. Another way, we've not got enough ways of killing people. There's a DARPA spokesman. They're completely mad, but they are running our world. DARPA, Google, Facebook, and some of these other major corporations controlling the internet are all one unit. Google was seed funded by the CIA. And here's a connection, Regina Duggan. She was head of DARPA. She then had made a very strange career move and became an executive of Google. And last summer she moved to become an executive of Facebook. All of them working in transhumanist technology. She's at Facebook to develop technologies that fluidly blend physical and digital worlds, humans to technology. Facebook shares brain control ambitions. It's DARPA that's driving this out of the Pentagon. All these big names, including Amazon, they're all different names with the same master. Facebook conducted widespread experiments on user data to alter people's behavior. A whistleblower within Facebook made that public. I thought they were just a social media operation, right? No. Tech giants, artificial intelligence monopoly, possibly the most dangerous in history. Exactly it is. Anyone believe that Google, Facebook, IBM, Apple, all building machines to outthink the human mind is all a coincidence without an ultimate goal? Of course not. How do we get there? We turn them into robots connected to a hive mind. That's what this is about, and it's unfolding in front of our eyes. We've had groups of entities, if you like, assimilated into this hive mind, and now they want to take humanity into it. Humanity and AI, the assimilation of humanity into archontic, distortion. Yeah. And a lot of sci-fi is telling you what's happening or going to happen in the form of apparently fictional stories. And in Star Trek, you had the Borg. The Borg was symbolic of the Archons and the Archon-assimilated races, the transhumans. They were part flesh and they were part technology. And the Borg flew around in black cubes. There's one passing Saturn, aptly. And this is the Borg. The Borg are a collection of species that have been turned into cybernetic organisms functioning as drones in a hive mind called the collective or the hive. The Borg use a process called assimilation to force other species into the collective by injection of microscopic machines called nanoprobes. And their mantra was, resistance is futile. This is Peter Diamandis, co-founder of the Singularity University. And singularity in this sense is the moment that basically AI becomes greater than human consciousness, well, mind. Co-founder of the Singularity University with Frankenstein's best mate, Ray Kurzweil. Diamandis said, anybody who is going to be resisting the progress forward to transhumanism is going to be resisting evolution, and fundamentally they will die out. It's not a matter of whether it's good or bad, it's going to happen. In other words, resistance is futile. It isn't. Well, we don't want to resist, we just want to stop it happening. Now, these nanoprobes, talked about in the Borg stories, are actually with us now.
Yep.
They're called nanobots, and nanoids, and nanites, and nanomachines, and various other things.
Nano.
And they can assemble and maintain sophisticated systems and build devices, machines or circuits through a process called molecular manufacturing. They can also produce copies of themselves through self-replication. These nanoids, nanoprobes, have also got the name smart dust. Everything is called smart these days because everything's smart. It's connected to everything else called smart. Also called neural dust, digital dust. These are tiny electronic particles for wireless communication between each other and with anything they connect with. What they're doing in the military is doing experiments by putting this smart dust, neural dust, into people's brains and then remotely abusing them from and controlling them from a distance. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is from the promotional material of smart dust. Smart dust infusing all matter can recognize an individual anywhere they are, to the extent that their computer can be automatically turned on when they walk through the door of work, and the elevator can automatically open at the right floor. Well, you know, the control systems of today look a bit sick when you compare them with that. And this is what Kurzweil said. Nanobots will infuse all the matter around us with information. Rocks, trees, everything will become these intelligent creatures. Well, they already are, but you ought to try it, darling.
Yeah.
You might see what you're bloody doing. Actually, you do see what you're doing. Kurzweil said, with robots in our brains, we'll be godlike. No, we'll be robots, and he frickin' knows it. Now, declassified documents suggest that many of us have superhuman powers. Well, thanks for telling us. I'd never realized it.
Yeah.
And these superhuman powers of consciousness are exactly the powers that this crowd have worked to suppress. And now they're telling us they want to make us superhuman through technology. Well, why don't they let us be superhuman without the suppression? It's a nonsense. He said humans will have hybrid cloud-powered brains by 2030. This timescale is getting shorter now. He said our thinking will be a hybrid of biological and non-biological thinking. Humans will be able to extend their limitations and think in the cloud, think in the AI. In other words, AI thinks instead of you. We're going to put gateways into the cloud in our brains. We're going to gradually merge and enhance ourselves. In my view, that's the nature of being human. We transcend our limitations. And he said, as the technology becomes vastly superior to what we are, then the small proportion that is still human gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it is utterly negligible. He's describing the assimilation into what they call AI, but I see it differently to what they're claiming it is. New computers could delete thoughts without your knowledge, experts warn. Once we're connected to computers, that's what they can do. Suddenly you have destroyed history, memory of everything, and you start from a blank sheet. You can make it be whatever you want it to be. This is the devil's playground, and I ain't exaggerating. A DARPA insider reveals coming of the hive mind control